Hello, everybody, and welcome to a dino-sized episode of Brainstorm Brewery. And before we get going, here's all I have to say on the matter.
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
Let them fight. You know why I quoted that movie? Because
what movie was that?
What movie do you think that was?
If Jason doesn't
Rampage.
Rampage is a good guess. It is not.
That was Ken Watanabe, right?
Yes, it was.
Godzilla?
It was Godzilla.
This is a weird breaking bulk.
I didn't see the Godzilla.
So not only did they make a Godzilla movie in 2014, which is what I played there, but they also made a recent one, which was truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life for the budget it had. It was a disaster. But you know what?
No, the 1998 Godzilla was the worst Godzilla.
Nah, man,
for
with
the
Matthew
budget it had,
Broderick?
because that had probably a bigger budget.
Nah, that movie was so good.
You would think that.
Well, I was 10 years old at the time.
I'll
so,
see anything
yeah.
John Cusack is in, and I was still like, ugh. I don't know, man.
Isn't it Matthew Broderick?
See? I don't even know. Was
I
it
guess
Matthew
so.
Broderick? I can't tell those two guys apart.
I don't know.
My favorite John Cusack movie is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is Matthew Broderick. Get out of here.
Whatever,
Corbin,
they're the same
you're
guy.
Just trying to get us copyright infringed upon on YouTube.
Anyways, that's magic today. It's magic time. Ikoria, let them fight. Godzilla, Space Godzilla.
I need to make a statement on Space Godzilla. Corbin, go yourself. There's my statement.
Mothra. Other Godzilla things I'm not familiar with. Godzilla, Death's Corona.
So those Godzilla cards were real, and
Yes.
I am not
they
mad
were.
at them because it's just like, it's a fake joke thing.
I love it.
It's
I
like
was about
we did.
to-
They're alter sleeves.
I love it, man. They're cool.
I actually like it because they're
Yeah.
like, we designed real magic cards that aren't dumb, but then alter sleeves.
It's been
It
so,
could be Godzilla
yeah.
if you want, whatever. A non-legendary, uncommon Godzilla.
And I've been
Which was
talking.
the biggest red flag to me. It's like, now it's just whatever. Ruined
I'm gonna
artist.
shift my Space Godzilla to attack mode and fight My Little Pony Starfire!
That's literally what it is.
Like, My Little Pony and Space Godzilla got two magic cards within
I know.
365 days of each other.
It's so good.
And it's the stupidest thing they've ever done, and I'm super duper okay with it.
Yes.
Because, like, they didn't fuck with the set.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want on an alternate art. I don't care. Like, just don't put that
Look,
crap. Don't do a Power Rangers magic set. If you
Right.
want to have a Power Rangers alternate art, I don't care. That's fine. I'll probably, if you do an IP I like, I'll buy it.
Yep.
But just don't not make magic cards. And they made magic cards, and then they're like, what if we altered them to have a really poorly bad luck reference to Death Corona?
That's insane. Okay, so does anyone know? Like, I'm not a Godzilla. Like, I watch all the movies, the newer ones, and the 1998 one, I guess. But I'm not like Godzilla lore expert. Is Death's Corona like a nickname for Godzilla at some point?
It's the name of its breath. It's like it's Space Godzilla's attack. Is like the Corona beam. The Corona beam is Space Godzilla's attack.
That is truly hilarious.
Here's the thing that's stupid about this. Like, no one's buying Corona beer and all this stuff. I'm like, a lot of viruses are coronaviruses. It's, if you've seen the picture of COVID, it's like the ball, and then it's got like
It's
the
very
stick
silly.
with the circles on it.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? That's why it's called a coronavirus, because it has those crowns, those circles. So like SARS was a coronavirus, and like MERS was a coronavirus, and now we have another coronavirus, and they're like, oh, it's COVID-19, and everyone's like, what? Don't buy Corona.
The best.
So
I like the fact that like
have a stupid Godzilla card I didn't want.
Yeah,
Like,
people are gonna boycott
this virus
a beer.
has deprived us of terrible shit I don't like. Like, Corona beer was shit, and like, you're an idiot if you drank it. But at the same time, the fact that it suffered for people refusing to use the scientific name of this virus is regrettable.
People are going to boycott Corona beer, but they're going to pay like 8 times the normal retail price for a card that says Corona on it. It's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just for the record, we don't know, right? Like how many of the Ikoria cards. By the way, everybody, welcome to Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler, joined by Jason Alton, DJ Johnson, as always. But
someone just dunked on me on Twitter for saying that shit was fake last week. You did it. You got me.
Got him. So here's my question, though. How many do we actually know the rarity of the first run that say Death's Corona? Because, look, all jokes aside and all...
They said it's the first print run.
Okay, so like even like all seriousness aside, they're going to be worth money because that's how Magic works.
Maybe.
Well, they're all
like
going to be
the
worth
Corpse
money.
Knight was supposed to be worth money too, but that thing's worth like nothing.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's Godzilla, man. It's Corona. It's like it just checks so many boxes.
Maybe
it checks 2 boxes. You just named
those
both
are
of
big.
the boxes.
They are Godzilla-sized boxes.
I just can't wait for someone to be like, aha, look at that.
Mudas. They're
$80 for this promo. It's like,
boxes.
yeah, my grandfather died of coronavirus. That's cool. Thanks for bringing that up at my first FNM back from being sequestered in a house.
I'm looking
for
at
3 months where my grandfather died wheezing. Cool
yeah.
card. That card's not even good. You just brought it out to meme on me.
I understand that it is very bad
FNM
taste.
Deck to what? To make me feel bad that I got a dead grandfather? Why don't you just get a card that's like Space Mothra dead grandfather while you're at it?
I understand that
attack me for 7 with that.
I'm simply a journalist who deals with the facts, and I understand that it's in bad taste, but I also understand that because it is in bad taste, because it is rare, and because it's Godzilla, it's going to be worth money.
I mean, French delay, Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, guess what the French delay's called? The French delay's called retard. We gotta go get as many copies because we're the shittiest people on the planet. We're Magic players.
Spanish Sark on the Mad, German Athreos.
Yeah, like it's just a thing, man. Like it just is what it is, and it's our job to deal in reality.
Hey, what if Rick and Morty were a gaming community? We did it.
Look, I will say this, though. I am actually very happy that Wizards of the Coast did this because I've been pushing for years. I wrote an article for a website back in the day that went really hard on this point. Why don't we actually ever see anything from the Hasbro Connection? Why didn't we, 5 years ago?
Because I don't want a Angry Birds Magic card.
but you don't. But you still are going to buy the Magic cards. You're just not going to buy the Angry Birds version. But like, why didn't we have little pony cards 10 years ago? I pushed, why don't we have Jace on the side of a Mountain Dew?
Because we would have way more school shootings if we did.
Why isn't Jace on the side of a Mountain Dew box? That's all I'm saying.
They tried the sodas.
They did that movie.
Yeah, they had the sodas.
Where Nicolas Cage looked
that was
like
successful.
That
was successful.
Was it?
They had the sodas.
From a marketing
company
perspective,
name, but they had the sodas.
Yeah, and look, I'm not even saying. Yeah, like you bring up that Sorcerer's Apprentice movie. It was a Disney movie. They paid to get in.
Oh!
I was not asking for them to just pay to market. Hasbro has connections. Hasbro has IPs. Why didn't we have all this forever? And look, so now that we're getting it, they made
Oko. You think they're thinking on the same level as you?
Well, I think those are coming from different places within the company, but I for one am thrilled that we have My Little Pony cards, that we have Transformer cards, that we have now Godzilla cards. Put that IP to work. And like Jason said, it doesn't affect the game. You just get to have a Godzilla card if you want a Godzilla card. And you know what? It generates a lot of headlines outside of the typical Magic circles, and that's kind of the thing. That's the whole point of leveraging the IP.
Go directly to jail and don't collect $200. Oh, we're so good. Hasbro IP, we did it.
You know what, man? Monopoly is one of the best-selling games in the world year after year.
And nobody gets it. Speaking of Rick and Morty, Monopoly is one of those games where everyone misses the point. They're like, this is where you learn to be a good capitalist and get the most hotels. It's like, no, Monopoly is supposed to teach people about the futility
of
trying to compete in a capitalist system
yes.
where someone has a huge advantage, but everyone's just like, nah, it's a game where you build the most hotels. We did it.
Well, it's okay, though, because you'll land on free parking, Jason, and then you'll get the free money from the middle.
Yeah,
that's
one month where you're stuck at home. We're living free parking right now.
Except I saw a video of a guy in London who, because they're locked down completely, all the parking spots were taken for his apartment complex where he lived. So he just had to park wherever he could find a parking spot. But what they have deemed as essential services is parking ticket guys. So this guy got 5 parking tickets because he literally has nowhere else to park. So justifiably upset, he started filming the parking ticket guy being like, why are you essential? So the parking ticket guy was like, all right, buddy, you're going to try to big dick me out here in this parking lot? This is what I do. And he just called the cops, and 5 cops showed up at the guy's house and told him that they're going to come back with a warrant if he doesn't submit to a voluntary interview. So,
so if
parking is not free. That's
all.
A voluntary
cough on the
interview.
meter guy's like, oh, you're here to ticket my car? That's
I don't know, man. Look, that's probably fueling the right-wing conspiracies of how this is the world's elite taking over.
Why do you just park under a 5G tower? And
5G's coming for you,
send out the
buddy.
corona beams to the meter reader, and he was like, I'm not going near the 5G. Do you see those dips in London? We're like, oh, we got to destroy these 5G towers. So they like took a bunch of them down. And then
Wait, what?
it was like, hey, we got the biggest idiots on the planet.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I know that people were on about the 5Gs. It turns out I actually went to college with somebody who's on about 5G.
Those boxes are just up on poles. And people were like knocking those down.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, and so American conspiracy theorists
like
got upset because like England can't have the biggest dipshits in the world, so a guy tried to kill a boat with a train. You heard that, right?
No.
The guy that tried to derail the train and hit a boat with it?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
He tried to derail
Some 5G conspiracy theorists
boat?
contend that the new network generates radio frequency radiation that can damage DNA and lead to cancer, cause oxidative I've never heard of this. I didn't hear about this.
Oh, you don't know about this at all.
No.
Oh, you got to go like 45 rabbit holes down, man, but...
I gotta go down 45G rabbit holes.
It starts to sound credible and you start to buy into it. That's why you need to stay away.
Bill Gates is funding all this research, but he also...
Well, I know Bill Gates is trying to inject us with vaccines. I know that one.
Right. That's the whole thing. And they're using the 5G to make people sick. That's why all the 5G spots where there is 5G in the world are also the spots where the most people are sick.
Where there's the most coronavirus.
It's not because they're major shit. It's not because they're major cities in the world. It's because of the 5G.
It's the XTC.
And you have to forget the New Orleans exists.
The XCDC comic
DJ
or whatever.
Wants to describe a webcomic to us. Describe the webcomic. Yeah. In the first panel, it says that all maps are just population maps.
Yeah. Jason knows what I'm talking about. He can't...
I do, but you still have to describe it to everyone because that's you got to ice frog us that every episode.
No, I can have JJ put it up on the YouTube video and tell the people who don't watch the YouTube video to suck it.
Oh, Ice Frog, the creator of Dota? What?
Yeah, there's a famous comic for it where like it just describes Magic players perfectly. Where like the Magic player like comes up to the company and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to try the new product," and then he eats it and then he's like, "This is shit! How dare you! I'm gonna boycott your company!" And then he like walks away and then walks back up and slowly crawls up and eats it again.
Okay. I guess that makes sense with Dota. Actually, yeah. Okay, I'm in.
I mean, once you're sold on a bad League of Legends, like.
Dota existed before League of Legends, man.
Right, and it's a bad version.
Yeah. But like, Ice
Frog...
Can't
wait to spend 3 seconds turning my character
I don't even think Ice Frog was involved in Dota after League of Legends came out, right? Didn't he create it and then move on, or was that Guinsu?
I don't know, man. You're talking nerd.
Guinsu is the other person who was involved.
We don't care about luminaries of esports that you had to like memorize for your fraternity hazing before you could be an esports correspondent. Like when you join a frat, they make you memorize like the 15
no. It was part of the
fraternity.
It was part of the application for
the. Who started Dota? You're like, it was Ice Frog.
It was part of the application
for his real name.
No. I'm a professor of esports. It was part of the application. Get it right. Come on.
Oh, I just got schooled by Professor Hostler. Took me to school.
You now owe me $12,000 for tuition.
At the school where you teach.
Yeah, you got schooled by me. You owe me $12,000, please.
How about 2 sheep and some Kohl's cash?
Well, Kohl's cash is lit.
They call that an Oklahoma.
That goes a long way in the apocalypse. It goes a long way in the apocalypse,
2 sheep,
man.
yeah. You got clothing. You got a lesson about MTG Finance where you can shear that sheep, but you can only skin it once.
And you've got some Kohl's cash.
And you got some Kohl's cash because Kohl's will remain open in the apocalypse because they are.
It's necessary. Like a Waffle House index.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Kohl show? If middle class people can't buy khakis, like we're here in the economy, it's the Waffle House index for like the Midwest. We don't have Waffle Houses, but we do have Kohl's.
So, anyways, Ikoria.
Our shirts now have 5 armholes for all the mutants, guys, for all the irradiated water.
So, look, yeah, some people they believe the 5G is causing the corona, and that only works if you do what the rest of the United States does, except for one weekend in February, and ignore that New Orleans exists. Then your conspiracy theory might be plausible. New Orleans, by the way, does not have 5G and is a hotspot because
of Mardi Gras.
Turns out they still had Mardi Gras. You know, one of the quotes that stood out to me, I saw this, this was talked about on Meet the Press last week, but and I remember seeing the original interview by somebody when they said this. They said, at the beginning of a pandemic, you look like a Chicken Little. And at the end, you look like you didn't do enough. And that's...
it's just like dealing with Magic players. There's no winning.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. Like, because I remember watching that a month ago, thinking, you know, I get it, blah, blah, blah. But like, this isn't, you know, they're talking, I've seen the movie, like, I understand all this stuff, but we're not really there, right? Like, people are going to social distance for a few weeks, blah, blah, blah. And after watching the news over the past 48 hours, it's like, it's almost, I think absurd is probably the right word, and like the actual meaning of that word. We're actually doing all the things that they did in the movies. You know?
Well, I really hate that
we've hit that point.
Law's character in Contagion is being played by our president. And he's trying to hawk Forsythia because he had a bunch of who cares? I'm not going to get into actual conspiracy facts on this podcast. We're going to alienate half our listeners.
Anyways, it's just it's so hard because I felt like a couple weeks ago, and look, I've been social distancing. This is my 3rd week, so we're coming up 3 days from now. Will be almost 4 weeks at home that I've been social distancing and not doing anything, like not playing Magic with friends or anything like that. And I feel like I've had a handle on sort of what this is and what this will mean for the world and what's going on. And now, like the convention centers in New York and New Orleans, and these are places I've gone to for events. I've been in them for Magic tournaments. Those are now hospitals or morgues for people from dying from coronavirus. And it's just like, this is just the actual movie Contagion or whatever, right?
What?
Contagion.
It's Contagion. You can't take that one back.
You can't make fun of me for Scourge ever again.
Yes, he can. I think you'll find that you are both cartoons who can't pronounce words. Contagion.
I said Scourge for the record. I said Scourge, which is still
Contagion
like
Clasp. As my pick of the week is Contagion Clasp.
Jason said it right the first time, and then Corbin was like, I'm gonna throw
Contagion. Contagion.
Did you look it up to try to dunk on me, you dumb... Did you major in broadcast journalism or some shit? You're going to try to correct a science major on his pronunciation? Get out of here.
I've heard it pronounced Contagion before. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because you live in Oklahoma.
You probably heard a lot of shit pronounced wrong.
Well, you know what, man? Look, we don't know what we don't know, okay, Jason? When you know better, you do better.
You're one of today's 10,000. Now, can I describe that webcomic?
You should never make fun of someone for pronouncing a word wrong because they probably read it instead of hearing it.
Yeah, Jason.
Smarter than you.
Yeah, Jason.
Book.
Yeah.
That means you read the DVD cover of Contagion but didn't watch it. And that's a Steven Soderbergh movie, so you fucked up by not watching a good movie.
I have seen it, actually.
Well, you should know better.
Sure.
Don't you remember where Lawrence Fishburne turns to the camera and be like,
I only saw like
sick of this Contagion.
No, I only saw like the second half of the movie.
What?
I don't know. It was just on TV one time, like 6 months ago, and I watched like the second half of it. Off, like, I don't know. That's what I did.
You missed the part of the movie where Gwyneth Paltrow was like patient zero for spreading that to the United States, and then like in real life she peddles terrible pseudo-scientific.
Well, I knew that about her, but yes, I did miss that in the movie. I just remember the doctor dying at the end who was like working on it at the beginning.
Kate Winslet.
Sure.
That was her name. The actress Kate Winslet played a character named Dr. Kate Winslet.
Is that true?
It was it was really bad writing.
Okay.
I brought that movie into my high school.
I believe you, man.
I brought that movie into my high school AP bio class, and we watched it.
Well, it turns out
I'm
it's a
so
documentary.
old. We watched Gattaca in AP bio.
We also watched that. We did watch that too. That was a good movie.
I mean, it turns out that
I watched it on VHS.
The movie Contagion was a documentary. Very predictive movie.
It was prescient, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like, I was just watching the news, and it's like, man, like we actually, I don't know what I expected or didn't expect necessarily, but like I kind of felt like I had a handle on this stuff, but we're actually in the worst case disaster type scenarios where
Contagion was 2011's Tiger King.
All right, so yeah, it turns out we have a lot of thoughts on Ikoria. We had a preview card, Channeled Force. Make sure to go check out.
We still do, and we also had one.
Sure. Yeah, go check it out.
It's called Channeled Force, and it's a X spell that deals damage. Did they give us Channel Fireball for a preview card? Because we're sponsored by Channel Fireball.
I like
your
it.
Channel and Fireball related needs, go to channelfireball.com. I think we got that card because it is very similar to Fevered Visions in that it does damage and draws cards. I think
maybe, man.
Blake
saw that card and thought of us, and that makes me feel really good that Wizards gave us a free preview card, and it was one that they thought was tailored for us. I really appreciate that.
All right, here's a question: how does one actually get one of the kaiju promos?
You go to Japan.
Which ones?
And then you can't leave because.
Well, Corbin, it actually depends on what do you mean by kaiju promo?
Well, I'm just on Mythic spoiler, and I've been doing stuff with my family. I haven't exactly been following the spoilers minute by minute. If, say, I wanted Space Godzilla, how would I actually acquire one outside of just buying it? Like, where do these promos go to?
So they're the like collector booster items.
Oh, okay.
They're like the Theros Beyond Death, like sparklies.
Theros Beyond. Okay, so they're showcase cards / masterpieces.
Yes.
So can you get them in a normal booster pack the way you could masterpieces in
No,
Eldraine?
but you can get the comic book stuff in the showcase in the regular boosters, I believe.
I don't even know what that means.
Like you're looking at Mythic spoiler, right?
Yeah.
You can get the comic book art versions of those cards.
Is that Space Godzilla?
No. Like all the mutate cards have like alternate versions of things. Just like the extended art from they've been doing for all the rares and mythics, and like just like the alternate splashy stuff that they do for the set
Why are we
mechanics.
wasting our time talking about Godzilla when we should talk about the fact that every creature in this stupid set is Chromant-Ikoria? Can we talk about that?
I don't know, Jason. Have you had
a gold card that gets bestowed onto another card, and you get 2 for 1 with a Doomblade? Or do you? Mark Rosewater doesn't know. He designed the stupid cards in the stupid set, but when he was asked, do both creatures die or just the top one, he didn't know. So nobody at Wizards knows. Or they at least can't agree with each other.
What's the right answer?
Happens. I don't know. I didn't work on the set. I'm not a judge. All I know is that you have a bunch of creatures that have a bestow cost, and then they get put on top of another card, and they're all gold cat nightmare beasts and elemental dinosaurs and beast elementals, and
yeah.
One Chromant-Ikoria pissed me off, and then they gave me a set full of Chromant-Ikorias with a literal Sharknado in it. Can we talk about how stupid this set is?
What? Come on, man.
It's fine.
The line, I'll say this, the line between stupid and fun depends entirely on how much of a boomer you are, so it makes sense that you hate it.
It's like how getting flirted with or harassed depends on how attractive you view the person.
The only reason this set hasn't jumped the shark is because all the sharks fly. Dude, I chugged a liter of alcohol real fast so I could be in rare form tonight because I just want to talk about how Chromant-Ikoria the set is...
Chromant-Ikoria the set. That is the name of the episode.
Chromant-Ikoria.
Chromant-Ikoria. You've done it. Drunk Jason pulls through again.
If this mic didn't cost $80, I'd drop it. I just thought of that crazy shit.
Okay, so we don't actually know the answer to the mutate question?
I think it's got to be just the top one. They wouldn't set you up to get 2 for 1, would they?
No, that is how it works.
Okay. So you can't, it's actually just bestow?
You know, like a mutation where if you die, only half of you die.
Right. Okay, so it's bestow, essentially, right?
Cancer, only the cancer dies. That's how mutations work, right?
You can't get 2 for 1. That's what I'm hearing. So it's
no, you can.
You can. Okay.
If you kill the creature in response,
yes,
then you get to resolve your mutate guy. But if you kill the creature after it's resolved, while it is one creature, then they both die.
Okay, well there you go.
Are you sure?
That makes sense.
That is what I heard on the stream when I watched the...
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The live thread of all the stuff.
Well, that's not good. That's not what
That's
you
great.
want.
No, that's fine. Bestow was a terrible mechanic because it was impossible to... I'm not going to sit here and complain about outplaying your opponents, but it's just no downs. There's no consideration. You just always did it, right? And that's just not good for the game.
This set is called There's No Downside. You always do it. They have a lightning otter that they're just like, hey, EDH, what if you could just have 101st card in your deck all the time?
Well, you just can't. Sheldon says no.
And everyone's mad at Sheldon.
Well, they're always mad at Sheldon.
That's true.
I like that there's a card called Titanic.
Bad, but Flash Hulk's okay.
I like that there's a card in the set called Titanic Rex, and the first 8 times I read it as Timothy Rex. I was like, yeah, this is a Timmy card.
Wasn't Timothy Rex that movie with Whoopi Goldberg where her partner was a dinosaur?
I think that movie was probably just called Rex. Like My Partner's a Dinosaur.
You guys don't remember? There was like in 1992 there was a movie.
I know what you're referring to. Surprisingly enough,
was a futuristic cop, and then her partner was a dinosaur, and it was the most amazing movie I've ever seen. Think the Super Mario Brothers movie, but like with Whoopi Goldberg instead of John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, huh? You're thinking about it.
Super Mario Brothers movie was great. Anyways, I'm happy to see Mutate in the set. It's a weird mechanic, and we're probably too deep people dealing with real life stuff to really get the fun Magic conspiracies rolling. But I'll say that this is like new post-Corona world order design theory for Magic here with trample counters and flying counters. And this is just a disaster for Paper, right? Come on.
This is the worst. They're like, hey, what if we got 10-year-old kids who love Godzilla interested in Magic the Gathering by luring them in with our Godzilla-themed cards? Cool. I like Godzilla. I'm going to learn Magic the Gathering. Great. So when you mutate, this goes into layer 7 2.b, and it's a state-based effect. So if you respond to the mutate trigger, you can 2-for-1 the player. But if you bounce the creature to their hand that you're being targeted, they're like, I like Godzilla. Hang on, I'm not done yet. When the creatures are mutated, you put the top creature, and then the abilities from the one creature on top go on the power toughness of the creature on the bottom. We're like, I like the Godzilla movie where Godzilla attacked Mothra. Well, hang on. Remember that when the ability resolves, you check if green and white was spent to play Mythos of Nethrai, and if it wasn't, you don't get the additional effect of destroying a non-land permanent. Cool, I want to go out in the backyard and put on my dinosaur costume from Halloween and play Godzilla, and I'll have fire breath. Well, hang on, because this is actually the most complicated Magic the Gathering set we've ever made as an entry for new players. You did it, Wizards of the Coast. You made the most complicated set since Future Sight.
You know what, Jason?
Capitalize on all the Godzilla fans.
I will say that everything you just said is likely 100% historically accurate. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
There's only one thing you got wrong. Mothra and Godzilla were buddies in the latest Godzilla movie.
In
not
the latest
enemies.
one.
That's all I'm saying. That's our Godzilla lore, okay? Mothra and Godzilla teamed up to fight against the monster from beneath Antarctica.
Ghidorah?
I don't remember what it was called. It's some super
Ghidorah
Godzilla.
wasn't from beneath Antarctica. Ghidorah was from the ocean.
Ghidorah.
Oh, did I just Contagion this podcast?
I think so. It's Ghidorah. Yeah. King Ghidorah. That's who they fought in the most
I've heard
recent
of
movie.
Ghidorah, but like...
Yeah, I thought it was Ghidorah.
Godzilla is also Gojira, so like, who knows, man?
I watched the movie on a plane a couple months ago, back when planes were a thing that existed.
How did Ken Watanabe pronounce it? Because I want to hear
Ghidorah.
Okay, man.
Ghidorah.
Yeah.
We just got Ghidorah-owned. That's fine.
That movie. Everybody
the
who paid
scourge
to see
of the
that,
Contagion of this podcast.
Yeah, everybody who paid to see that movie got owned. That movie was atrocious.
But Bryan Cranston was in it. Or are you talking?
No, the new one. The new one.
Oh no!
It came out like in 2019, and at the end of the movie, it teases how for the first time you learn this, that they show in like newspaper headlines because the world they nuke Godzilla. Ken Watanabe kills himself by exploding a nuke manually on Godzilla to wake him up after they killed Godzilla. After the government killed Godzilla in the first place because they need Godzilla to fight Ghidorah. And then at the end, it's all about how Godzilla kills Ghidorah and now the world is healing. Like everything is coming back. There's new plants and everything.
Ghidorah
they're showing all these.
Just sounds so wrong to me. Like I realize that like
it's bad.
I saw the movie and I didn't, but
yeah. Well, sorry, that's what it is. And then they're showing newspaper headlines and stuff at the end of how the world's coming back. And then they start teasing you with some headlines referencing a giant ape in the Pacific. And then you find out that Godzilla and King Kong exist in the same universe.
Yeah, it's the magic universe, bro.
Because they've also been making those King Kong movies, which are a lot better than this most recent Godzilla movie was. That's for sure.
So they could ramp up to the
Godzilla versus
the Titan ape, which when it enters the battlefield fights up to one target creature you don't control, which could be their Godzilla.
Yep.
And whenever it attacks, it destroys an artifact or enchantment, and that's representative of the fact that we are the virus.
That's all I know is, but here's the problem.
The Earth is healing.
The only problem with the Godzilla versus King Kong movie that they obviously are planning on making is that the most recent Godzilla movie bombed to like an unbelievable degree.
It bombed so hard it actually went into the Pacific Ocean and created a new Godzilla. Godzilla's real. That's how hard that movie bombed.
Yeah, it had $170 million budget, which means likely a 300.
Which means they spent $150 million on advertising.
Correct.
Like, if this movie doesn't make $330 million, it's considered a failure.
Correct. And the movie made it has made $386 million worldwide,
which is so much money for a movie.
But that's also that's bad. That's not good. Like, they did not make money on this movie. The general rule of thumb is you double the production budget for the advertising budget. But like, they're not, if a movie, you can't just clear, $20 million on a $400 million production and it be considered a success. So,
well, you know who's railing against that kind of Hollywood accounting? Steven Soderbergh, who was the director of Contagion. Oh, and we've come full circle.
Anyways, is there anything else in Chromant-Ikoria you guys want to talk about?
Clossification made DJ's stupid Arcanum Wing spec completely worth it.
Did it? That wasn't Spike, I don't think.
Clossification, 7 mana enchantment, enchant creature when enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature gets +20/+20. We did it.
But if it's already attacking,
we did it, team.
Tapping it doesn't matter.
All right, look,
the Arcanum Wings when it's already attacking, and it will have flying.
Hey, Sovereigns of La Solara, man. Actually does work with
creature attacks by itself.
It actually, it actually does work with Sovereigns of La Solara.
Yeah, because you put the creature's already attacking.
Yeah, and then you put it on it. So I mean,
it works with Arcanum wings, but it doesn't work with Academy researchers.
Hey, how does this work with Sharknado? Does Sharknado...
All right, so Jason brought up sharks, but this is the shark most worth talking about, okay? Pouncing ShoreShark. It has abilities, they don't matter. The important thing is that the art is a shark jumping on the land with hands. It's got
hand shark.
It's got claws. It's a shark jumping on the land with claws.
Why does he have hands? Those would not help him swim.
This set, man.
Those arms would be an impediment. They're an evolutionary disadvantage.
This set is
mutated
unreal.
To having human-looking arms?
Yeah, it's called cancer, dude. Not all mutations are great.
This set it's something. You know what, though? I'm in. It's cool.
This shark is the future that Joe Exotic wants.
I don't...
You want to know the worst thing about this set?
Okay.
The Commander 2020, based on this set, has a Snake Leviathan legend. That is my favorite Teamer legend they've ever printed. I hate that I like a card from this set.
This set is cool.
I hate it so much.
I actually like the set. I like them jumping the shark, trying to jump onto the shark anyways. The only thing I don't like about this set is the complexity. I don't like the counter token theme. It's just...
we should have known when Mark Rosar is like, there are 15 different counters. Oops, do Planeswalker loyalty then 29 different counters.
I mean, I kind of figured it was something like this, but I just don't think this is a good development.
Every keyword needs to be when it comes into play, put a cycling counter on an instant in your graveyard. Then you can bring it back because it has cycling now because you put a cycling counter on it. You did it.
Yeah.
You made the most complicated set since Future Sight.
Yeah.
Take that, new players.
The thing is, I think Mutate is cool. I like that they're bringing back cycling. I think that Mutate is cool. It's a lot of complexity on its own because you have to look underneath the card. You know, there's a lot of dexterity required to pick up cards 3 cards deep to remember what all abilities your card has.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
Yeah.
Breaking bulk!
Breaking bulk!
All right, let's do breaking bulk. Everybody, there is a lot of after hours coming from this show, so you're going to get your money's worth if you go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and sign up at the $20 level, where you can get access to those after hours. And, I don't know, maybe a drinking glass like this?
Ooh, handsome drinking glass.
A flask, a playmat. I honestly don't even know what you get at this point. Just don't yell at me in Discord when I don't know. You'll get something.
If you don't feel like giving us that much money, for as little as 20 or 25 cents an episode, which is $1 a month, which is very reasonable, you could join our Discord server and we can talk about Tiger King conspiracies till the cows come home.
That's right. Speaking of...
Till the cows come off the Walmart truck.
This seems like an opportune time to bring this up. We have a new Patreon goal. At least we'd like some feedback on one.
We do?
We're currently at about 450 patrons. We would really like to get back up to 500 patrons. If we get to 500 patrons...
send us some of that government stimulus check. We know you have it.
If we can get... even if it's just $1, we want new people. If we get to 500 patrons within the next 2 months, by the end of May, we will do a Tiger King parody video in which... we go all out for this. We're doing a music video to I Saw a Tiger and a Tiger Saw Me. You will hear the glorious vocals of Corbin Hostler.
Corbin will have a mullet.
There will be a mullet.
I have a mullet now.
There will be as close to tigers as we can get. There will be famous scenes from the show recreated and cameos from your favorite characters. I really want to make this video. Please, please, please consider giving us $1 during this pandemic so we can get the 50 patrons we need to get to 500 by the end of May to make this video before no one cares about Tiger King.
Corbin's wife will be Carol Baskin.
I don't think she will agree to be in it, but there will be a Carol
She'll
Baskin.
be the animal
we don't
rights
want her to be
activist.
in it.
It's fine.
We want her to murder you.
We don't have... I mean, she'd have to drive a little bit to feed me to the tigers, I guess. They're like an hour away. But,
well, you should shoot this on site.
I don't know that they would let us do that. I also don't know that I won't get eaten by a tiger or scammed out of my zoo or like shot or fed to tigers. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that goes wrong. There's a lot of stuff that goes wrong when you go to tigers. Or JJ
watches somebody accidentally shoot themselves.
Yeah, man, I forgot about that, man. Come on. Like, a lot of stuff goes wrong when you start going to tiger zoos, private tiger zoos, you know? So maybe we'll stay somewhere a little safer to shoot this video. But please, everybody, please consider giving us $1. We just need 50 of you to give us $1 so that we can make this video. It would be very nice. And you can join our Discord and get all these perks that we've talked about. But let's move on to breaking bulk, because the only thing that doesn't change in the apocalypse is that Magic cards are worth money. Turns out people want them. Now, we are seeing a lot of cards go down in price due to everything going on, but that doesn't mean that once buy lists come back up, you won't have cards to sell to them. So Channel Fireball is our sponsor. They are great. Once they're coming back, they have a great buy list program. They did a buy list bonanza for the month of March. It was super successful. So we want to thank them, as always, for the sponsorship. You can find us there every week. And shout out to them. That's a place to consider getting any of these cards we're talking about over the course of the episode, especially from Ikoria, or buy list in any of them if you have anything like a black uncommon from Conspiracy Take the Crown.
Marchesa's Decree?
It is Marchesa's Decree. Marchesa's Decree is a 4-mana enchantment. Enters play, become the monarch. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, they lose a life. So it doesn't drain them, but it does tax them. And the card's worth a couple dollars. So an uncommon out of Conspiracy Take the Crown. That's a pretty good one. All right, who wants to go next?
I have a red card that was printed 2 times, originally in 5th Dawn. It is a red common sorcery.
5th Dawn red common sorcery?
It's a lot of info.
Common?
Yeah, dude.
I feel like magnetic
it's worth almost
theft is
$1 despite
also
being reprinted fairly recently.
It's not magnetic theft.
No. Because that wasn't 5th... Oh, that was 5th Dawn, but that was uncommon.
Yeah.
Wow, 5th Dawn, huh?
5th Dawn? I'll give you more information because you're embarrassing yourselves. It was reprinted in Conspiracy 1.
It doesn't help.
Mana Geyser.
See?
Ah, that is a good card.
You see, Corbin?
That is, in fact, a pick.
Mana Geyser, almost $1 on Card Kingdom, despite having a recent reprint. Mana Geyser gives you a lot of mana.
What would you do if I told you Conspiracy 1 wasn't a recent reprint anymore?
That was in, like...
Boomer!
Right?
No.
Is this card older than my daughter?
Conspiracy 1 came out in 2014, buddy.
Oh, no. What?
You
That's
are
so long
a
ago.
boomer. Just accept it. Just accept it. DJ, go ahead.
All right. I have a land from Commander 2019 that was originally printed in Return to Ravnica block.
What do you mean Return to Ravnica block? Once again, DJ, just like every week, that is not how this game works.
This game works however we want it to work.
That's a good point.
It was originally Return to Ravnica. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 printings.
Rogue's Passage?
Yeah, it's
probably Return to Ravnica.
See, if he just said RTR off the block, I would have nailed it. So like,
I mean, yeah, it wasn't a super difficult one.
Oh, is that why I got it and you didn't?
I was trying to grill him on the set.
It's got like 8 printings. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't most recently in Commander 2019. It was most recently in Mystery Booster.
There you go.
Jackass.
You misled us, man. Come on.
That's why Corbin didn't get it.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, this card has 1,800 printings, and it's still worth money because people want to go face with commanders. They want.
I died to it.
They want to ignore everything that's on the board and go me 21 power, me face.
Yep. Rogue's Passage is great. That's a thing,
also, stop telling me to play this in my SIG deck. It's not good.
Okay, sure thing, buddy.
I get multiple.
Your SIG deck isn't good? Is that what you mean?
No, Rogue's Passage is not good in my SIG deck.
Okay. I believe you.
I want to tap 3 lands to make my unblockable creature unblockable.
It's 5 lands. It's worse than that.
Yeah, it is quite expensive.
It's fine for like big stompy commander damage decks, but my Sig deck has a bunch of flyers and unblockable creatures already, and it's very heavy on colored requirements.
Died to Rogue's Passage in Arena Cube sealed.
Get good.
Well,
it felt bad.
You're the Gary Paulson of Magic.
That's a deep cut that's only for people with the after hours, man.
Well, everyone should have the after hours.
Also, shout out to Chromant-Ikoria for putting Cunning Nightbonder in this set. That is a card that I'm excited about for
Stop
Sig.
talking about your Sig deck. You're the only one who cares about your Sig
That's
deck.
not true.
I agree. I don't care about your Sig deck.
I lost a knowledge exploitation. Shucky darns. How embarrassing. I care about this deck now.
I will say that I am a fan of the card Draneth Magistrate. It's the 1/3 for 2, the white hate bear. Your opponents cannot cast spells from anywhere other than their hands.
Yeah, it's not even remotely a cool card. That's a
good one.
All right, so I'm a big fan of Draneth Magistrate because I want to stop people from casting their commanders. I play Nevermore. I'm all about that life. We know how Jason feels about Chromant-Ikoria. Is there anything you like here, DJ?
I like one specific card from this set so far. For myself.
What is it?
Cunning Nightbonder. It is a 2-mana 2/2. It is a blue-black/blue-black human rogue with flash. Spells you cast with flash cost 1 less to cast and can't be countered.
That's
things like
cool.
Brazen Borrower. Things like what's the I don't even know half the cards in this deck's name.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
Quickling is another good one. Nobody knows what that card is, but that's a real card. Quickling.
Is that a pick still?
Quickling?
It's probably a nickel.
It was a pick at one point.
It's a nickel.
I mean, it was a pick.
You guys remember Rat Race from 1999?
No.
You know, Rowan Atkinson. He was Mr. Bean.
What's Mr. Bean?
Okay, that one I know.
I'm just kidding. But it seemed appropriate.
Seemed appropriate to embarrass yourself?
Is that what this podcast is for?
It's true.
How do you guys feel about... Look, Ikoria, I think there's a lot of cool stuff here. I don't like the counters. I feel like that is... It's just so... Jason's right. I mean, it's probably more complicated than Time Spiral. From a dexterity perspective. From the tools you need to play a game perspective. It's probably more complicated
I'll just
than Time
put
Spiral.
a D6 at 1 on my creature to represent the death touch count. Oh, no, it's got a flying counter now.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's got a vigilance counter.
I think the proper way to play is with a notepad and a piece of paper and just write it all down. I mean, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think that the fact that they said, hey, Arena exists, Arena's popular, because Arena was out and doing well when this set was designed. We're kind of hitting that point. They said, let's see what we can do for a set that we can push the boundaries online, and paper will follow. That's what this is. It's ridiculous. It's not necessarily bad, but it is basically the opposite of everything Mark Rosewater has told us for the past decade.
I wonder what happens if you cast a Doomblade on a creature that has a creature mutated onto it, because Mark Rosewater doesn't know, but maybe Arena will.
Maybe Arena will. I like that.
Arena just crashes you like you Doomblade a creature.
Well, my thing is, I actually like Mutate. I think Mutate is cool. I think bringing back Cycling is great. I think you could have done those two things and had a really, really cool set. And then you have these cards that where, you know, they're one color, but if you pay the other colors and you get the benefit,
the
blah,
Mythos
blah, blah. Like, that's cool
the
too.
Mythos spells are cool. I like that.
Yeah, like this set had a lot going for it. It's like, why did you also... Like, Mutate is probably the most complicated creature-based mechanic they've ever done. And trample counters and flying counters when the game has never worked that way in the past. And I'll note, cards in this set don't even work that way. They don't even all work that way. The cards in this set just have trample or reach or flash or whatever the hell else counters there are. They just naturally have those. But then there's also counters for that. You didn't need to throw all of this in one set. It's just absurd. Even on Arena, you didn't need all this. Just because you can do all this on Arena doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, this is just it. And I like the set. I like this. I love the big dumb monsters. I actually like Mutate, even though it is a really complicated thing in itself and it's got issues. But why do we have to throw everything at the wall? Is this what happens when we don't have blocks anymore?
Hey, what if Vampire Nighthawk had a series of counters instead of abilities?
Yeah, it's just...
Wouldn't that be cool? What if you had to put 3 different counters on it?
And because of that...
Expect your opponent to remember what it had. What if we did that?
Right, and exactly. And because of that, it feels like the set is almost... They're doing that thing Magic does, and I get it. You print a billion cards every year. You have to kind of do this. But you take the card that everyone liked at one point, right? Vampire Nighthawk, okay? And you've riffed off of Vampire Nighthawk a few times. You've got the Gifted Aetherborn and so on. You've done that. And now you're like, okay, well, what's a new way to riff on it? We're going to put counters on it instead. It's just... and we can't even say jumping the shark.
Blood and steal all your counters.
Yeah, we can't even say you're jumping the shark because there's literally a Sharknado in the set and the sharks fly. Like, you could have just made Mutate and had a cool set. Why did you have to? People don't need Magic to be incredibly complicated. They just need it to be fun. It's just too much, and I can't help but think that
it makes me want to say to them, "Why did you have to make things so complicated?"
Yeah, it just...
You're designing sets like you're a different game. It makes me frustrated.
Yeah, and the power...
Magic's like that. You
throw the power creep on top.
You call and...
Yeah. Throw the power creep on top of it, and it's just... Again, this is...
Look, we're either going to break or we're going to take what we get, right?
And the thing is, I like the set. So... Do what?
He was doing a bit that entire time from a song, and he just kept going.
That's fine, because I'm mad, and I refuse to let this podcast be derailed.
I caught on.
It was like, just maintain it straight. Okay, we're doing a bit. All right.
No one derails this podcast.
I said 2 seconds ago we should yes and bits, but I'm just gonna.
We chug on
I'm Dan
through.
Rather,
we don't stop for sun, rain, tornadoes, floods, Corona, Jason doing bits. This podcast moves on. Yeah, Jason, I feel you. We're building obstacle courses in the backyard. Today, I was delivering some cards to people in a box. I've been offering bulk to people. I'll deliver it to your doorstep. I gotta figure out something to do to get out of the house, even just a little.
Corbin.
Contactless delivery. Everything's wiped down and safe. But I had to convince Ben that he was helping me by letting him make a mess of cards on the ground so that we could try to get through it today. Living at home with a 3-year-old,
that's just where everybody lives. Everyone lives at home.
I mean, yeah, I saw this on the Daily Show, but like, you know, when you have a kid, you're expecting to spend what, like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a day with them tops, right? You get him in the morning, you get him in the afternoon for a little bit. Yeah, you do dinner with him, you put him to bed. 24 hours a day. It doesn't end. It's never going to end. I'm going to die of Corona before.
I'm going to die of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah.
Because my daughter won't eat her fries. Like, forget Corona.
Yeah, my kid does. He just doesn't eat food either. I hear you.
Corbin, obstacle courses in the backyard sound like a great way for you to learn parkour.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You'd probably love it. Maybe I'll video myself. We can put it up on the BSB channel of me doing this obstacle course that we built for the 3-year-old.
I think DJ could do Ben-sized obstacles.
I mean, probably. DJ's pretty small. He could get under there. I probably can't climb under this thing, which will make a funny video. Maybe we'll go shoot it. Maybe I'll shoot it. Have Marianne shoot it with her phone tomorrow and we can put it up on the channel. But yeah, you find things to try to do. My son has become a pro at Pokemon Go. He's gotten very good at Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's a real social distancing game.
Well, I mean, the 3 of us are together.
I haven't spun a stop in 3 weeks, but it's cool that your son's getting coughed on.
We go for walks around the neighborhood where there's Pokestops.
You have stops in your neighborhood? Where do you live?
In a neighborhood. We got a church about a quarter mile away we can walk to and spend it in the parking lot. We've got a park with 2 Pokestops.
I don't live where there's a mandate to have a church every 15 square feet. So
I got a park. I got a park too, man. We got options. We go throw the baseball around at the park. He's not big enough to like play catch or anything, but he likes to watch me throw it at the backstop. So you make do. Okay, you make do. And my wife's working.
Catch with your son is him watching you just throw a ball at a wall?
He's 3. He's not old enough to like play catch. So like I can toss him a ball softly and he can like kind of catch it sometimes or whatever, but like he's not old enough to sit there and play catch with me. But he likes to watch me throw it hard, you know. So I used to play baseball. So I mean,
I play full contact hockey with my daughter. So
We'll get there. We play a little soccer. Like, we're just trying anything we can do, man. My son has watched Mewtwo Strikes Back, the Pokemon movie on Netflix, which, by the way, if you were a kid into the Pokemon movie, they remade it in better animation on Netflix last year. So it's pretty cool. We've watched Mewtwo Strikes Back roughly 35 times in the past 3 weeks. So, I'm teaching my kid all the Pokemon names. I busted out. I have a guide, like a physical guide to Pokemon Gold and Silver.
From 1990, whatever?
Yes.
Or I think it'd be 2000. It'd be like 2001.
Sure. He likes to look through that and look at the Pokemon pictures. So you do what you can do. And look, I know everyone at home can relate in some way to this. I'm sure. Look, imagine what you would do if you didn't have a kid, Jason. Would you be the most productive you've ever been in your life? Or would you just sit around drinking all day?
Way less productive.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Just sit around, drink all day, play video games, do nothing at all.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'd be happier.
Well, yep. I agree. I think you're right. The worst part of the coronavirus is definitely having to stay at home with your family.
I have good kids. I can't imagine.
I've been enjoying my coronavirus time.
I'll be honest. I've actually, on a serious note, I have really enjoyed spending time with my wife and my son over the last few weeks. But man, that doesn't make the hard moments
with Corbin's wife and son also.
Yeah. Now we're social distance hard around here, buddy. We are serious. Although, you guys will be happy to know, the barn where my wife's horse lives at, got an exemption, so it's now considered an essential business. So she's going to go ride her horse tomorrow.
What you said, is it an essential business or it is not?
Oh, it's an essential business now. It wasn't, but they got a waiver that says they are.
So they GameStopped it?
I guess so, man.
Nice.
TCG played it.
For a little bit, but they were quickly shut down.
Yeah. So, anyways, whenever Chromant-Ikoria comes out in paper, we might have a proper set review with prices and all of that. But frankly, everybody enjoy it on Arena, I guess. If we get it played in paper, we'll get it played in paper. We'll all get through this together. This podcast it was never really what you would call on the rails in the best of times. But now I think we are pretty definitively in the worst of times. And you get what you get. We can't do a financial set review when people can't buy these cards. We can't talk about how we did at the pre-release when there's no pre-release. We can't talk about anything at the store. I mean, as far as Magic Finance goes, if you can buy cards right now, buy collections. The sad truth of this is a lot of people are going to need money, especially now we hit the end of March, beginning of April. People have rent, they have mortgages. Not every landlord is forgiving. People are going to need money, and the sad truth is that represents an opportunity to buy cards on the cheap.
So, yeah, my landlord sent me an email being like, "Hey XD, ooh, remember we're besties. Pay your rent this month, XD. LOL."
Yeah. So we're doing what we can here. We're trying to give you some entertainment. So this set, whenever it does come out, will be cool. It's got some neat stuff in it. I hate the complexity level of it. I feel like if there were a second set in Ikoria coming right after it, that wouldn't be the case. But this is where we are, and you know what? The set will be fun. And hey, Godzilla's great. Let's move on to Pick of the Week.
Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Time for the Pick of the Week.
Oh boy, the pick of the week. Pick of the week.
That singing is just a taste, just a preview of what you'll get if we get to 500 patrons and we get to make the music video where I sing, "I saw a tiger."
And a tiger saw me.
And I discreetly gassed a tiger.
At my sex cold. Anyways, it's basically a BTRL if we get to 500 patrons and we get to make this Tiger Key music video where you hear me singing, "I saw a tiger, the tiger saw me." That's just a preview.
You can't just say the words of the song and call it singing.
No, but I can't. I can't
actually enunciate.
You're not the band Cake.
We are not wizards here. I do not jump the shark. When we get the patrons, I will sing it, and you will love it.
It'll be 2023.
Corbin, you said you will love it the same way that Doc Angel says you will get a boob job.
Look, it works for him.
Yeah, man. Imagine looking like a fat Tim Robbins and getting more than 0 ladies. That guy is awesome.
He trained in the mystical arts. You realize he's Doctor Strange. That's why he's a doctor.
That is a good point.
He trained in the mystical arts.
Or he just went to like universallifechurch.com and
No, he says he went to China and trained in the mystical arts. He literally lifted Doctor Strange's story. Or
so he's like
hear me out. Wait. Or Doctor Strange stole the story from him.
Which seems more likely? Doctor Strange has 0 ladies. Doc Antle at least 5.
Yeah. Doctor Strange just wanted in on that, and that's why he went
incel like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange saw how well it worked for Doc Antle. He went to China to train in the mystical arts, and all he got out of it was like disappearing on a planet somewhere. It just didn't work out as well for Doctor Strange.
No. If you rearrange the word Bhagavan, I'll bet you can spell Cumberbatch somewhere in there.
That might be true. All right, let's do pick of the week. I'm just going to go ahead and jump on in here with mine. I'm going to go with Lurking Predators. I love this card. It's a 6-mana enchantment whenever an opponent casts a spell. Reveal the top card of your library if it's a creature, put it into play. Otherwise, put it on the bottom. So I love Lurking Predators. I played in my Mael deck. The card is very good. It's been $5 for a long time. It got reprinted in Commander 2016. But it's starting to climb a little bit now. We're seeing the market price actually outpace the list, the regular listing price. And this is a set full of giant, dirtily Godzilla creatures. If Lurking Predators is going to get noticed, I think, as a result of this, and probably climb its way up to $10, again, with the assumption that, Paper Magic comes back. What do you guys got?
Paper Magic does come back. I think we're going to be forcing people to draw cards and give us snake tokens with Xyrus the Virus. That's not his name. Don't talk about viruses now. They're going to have to change the name so it no longer rhymes with Xyrus, and it'll be a different card name.
What is this card, Jason?
It's the space Leviathan snake creature monster that whenever your opponent draws a card, if it's not the first card they drew during their draw phase, you get a snake token. So I think that's pretty rad, because you can use that snake to attack them, or you can use it for Cryptolith, right, to make mana. Mm-hmm. I think Force Fruition's pretty good. Whenever they play a spell, they draw 7 cards, you get 7 snakes, and then you just murder them.
So the pick is Force Fruition?
Force Fruition! It's like $10 right now.
Yeah, that card's cool. Lorwyn, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that card's neat.
It goes in Emily's
it was already
deck.
Yeah. It's a great mill card, but like if you don't want to mill people, just play Days Undoing and shit like that, and make them shuffle their graveyard right back into their deck and draw more cards and give you more snakes.
Yep.
Or if you want to mill them, that's fine too. Like that's really a thing. Play Wheels. Play Fevered Visions, a Brainstorm Brewery preview card. Play our new preview card from Ikoria.
Have you guys had this experience yet, where you die to your own preview card?
No.
Someone killed me with Response Resurgence the other day, which is a card I previewed for WotC. And I won't lie, it was even worse because it was on Arena, and I couldn't even be like, hey, that's my preview card. I
actually died to Ishai at one point, so yeah, I have died to a preview card.
It's pretty sad.
No, but Corbin, you managed to go, hey, that's my preview card to us, so all was not lost.
I look, I tried.
Like, we're impressed. Man. Like, oh, you previewed some cards? Oh, that's real impressive.
No, it was just a real feel bad. I couldn't even tell my opponent they were killing me with my own preview card, Like,
why not? Why couldn't you tell them?
Because it was Arena. All I could do was spam nice.
Corbin salty.
Do you guys not spam emotes on Arena? You guys are probably
don't play Arena.
Yeah. I spam emotes on Legends of Runeterra.
I always spam the emotes. They put them there for a reason. All right, DJ, what do you got?
I have Theros Beyond Temples because they're basically bulk rares and they're hella cheap.
But are they ever going to recover?
That's a good question. I mean, what do you guys think? We saw them. They were honestly climbing in price pretty decently, $2-3 before the reprints. I mean, what do you think they're going to do from here?
I'm just saying that if you can get Temple of Plenty for 50 cents, then you should get Temple of Plenty for 50 cents.
That is real cheap. It's got that going for it for sure.
Like, just temples in general just seem very, like, even the core set 2020 ones, like Temple of Silence is like 70 cents TCG low or something like that. And these are cards that I am actively refusing to list on my TCG Player store because I would rather get like $1.50 later or something like that. It's just such a small.
I agree. Well, and the thing is that the core
flat game, but it's a large percentage gain is the thing.
The core set ones might be even better because there was surely less core set opened than Theros.
Sure, yeah, like the enemy color ones are probably better than the ally ones for sure.
Yeah. Also, I guess they're not really played in Pioneer. Temples are pretty good in Historic, if that were to ever make its way to paper, which I kind of doubt, but I actually think they're going to end up turning Historic into Pioneer on Arena at some point. You know, it's fine that we have Historic for now, and maybe it develops into its own little format, and they keep it around, but the way they're adding cards to it, I think it's more likely it's just going to turn into Pioneer at some point. Maybe Pioneer Plus, I don't know. It's weird how they just randomly print cards into it every 6 months or something. Like Fauna Shaman's in the format.
Yeah, it's like as they can code the cards and they just chuck them in the pile.
Well, it's like they specifically code cards for Historic.
No, I know, but like they're going through and like making people code cards that they can actually code in. They're not going to be like, oh, Sylvan Library got like.
Oh well, sure, yeah.
They are picking cards that are easy to code within the infrastructure.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird that it kind of exists as a format that only is an arena-specific format that you can only play sometimes. So it is odd. But hey, they've had Arena ranked up and Arena Historic ranked up. I've been playing the heck out of some Kethis combo, so it's been fun. Anyways, I don't know what else we're supposed to talk about. It's a Corona episode. It's everybody. I hope you're all staying safe, taking social distancing guidelines seriously. We're trying our best here, but Chromant-Ikoria is not going to be out in paper for several months. We're trying, everybody. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we mercifully end this episode?
We should make a sacrifice to Space Godzilla, so he doesn't kill us with his corona.
Let them fight. Anyways, everybody, this is Brainstorm Brewery. Thank you so much for listening. Shout out to our sponsor, as always, Channel Fireball. Remember, 500 people in the Patreon. 50 of you go sign up. Get your friends to sign up. Make a new account to sign up. Just get us to 500 patrons so we can make this Tiger King parody music video. I saw a tiger, and a tiger saw me, or man, or whatever the lyric is. I'm going to sing it. It's going to be great. We're going to get everyone into it. This is Brainstorm Brewery. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. JJ, may God have mercy on your soul.